Drum Machine starts out with sets of gears that are animated not to actual notes, but instead to the clock beat itself, which starts a while before the first note is ever played on the hi-hat. To make an analogy, it's more like a person tapping their foot to music rather than actually playing an instrument. It's still MIDI-driven animation, using the same software, but it's just a different algorithm that we use. There are also numerous sets of normal gears that are note-driven like the rest of the instruments on the video album, and these gears are, controlling mallets and sticks and whatever hitting the drums. But the whole time that's going on, regardless of what else is happening in the music, there are always two sets of beat-driven gears grinding away. You can usually see them moving in the background, and they're synced to that big gear grinding sound. These sets each move in one of two different ways. There's a downbeat group, mostly the giant gears, and then an upbeat group, which are mainly made of gears that are the next size smaller. One pattern that they use, sort of split between two halves of the group, is for the gears to basically oscillate back and forth. They kind of rock. The other pattern is for them to advance on each beat, sort of like a counter. One unique characteristic of this animation is that there are no cuts. It's all one camera the whole way through. We basically transition from one view to another, usually smoothly, but with an occasional whiplash move thrown in like that. I should probably also explain the somewhat bizarre lighting situation going on here. What you basically have is a strobe going off on each crash cymbal, and on top of that, you get these red warning lights going on like they have in factories when heavy stuff is moving around, and that's because the timpani and aux percussion's coming down on these chains and gear wheels running down side tracks on the wall. So there we just shifted gears into a faster tempo. Having the gears smoothly shift from one tempo to another, integrated with the sound effects, took more effort than I even want to talk about, but I'm really happy with how it finally came out. So this piece had a working title of Gear World for most of its existence, for obvious reasons, and is another example of an instrument configuration that was modeled and rigged with music animation algorithms before the music was in place. Once everything was set, the pressure was on me to actually write the music to drive this thing. And as with all our other environments, there's an extent to which this approximates some reality and another extent to which it violates physics in our universe. In this case, even though the structure may look somewhat physically plausible, I suspect that if you built this thing, it just might collapse under its own weight. And even if it didn't, it certainly would be difficult to move the large gears as fast and suddenly as being done here. But in the Animusic universe, that's all okay.